Party God Squad, before I get to that interview, we are taking a real quick break so I can tell you all about Manscaped. Precision engineered grooming tools for, you guessed it, ear balls. Whether you have your own pair of furry family jewels or you just get to give them a squeeze on somebody else from time to time, no balls look or feel better than the ones that use Manscaped. Trust me. And now, just in time for the holidays, you can gift yourself or gift your favorite pair of balls the best buzz in the biz. Just visit Manscaped at manscaped.com. Use promo code Rocky for 20% off your next Manscaped order. That's manscaped.com, manscaped.com, and use promo code Rocky for 20% off your next Manscaped order. Get busy buzzing, boys.
I am a Taylor Swift fan. When I was 18, I remember criticizing my friend for playing her music in the car on I-95 in Florida while I stared out the window looking at anti-abortion billboard after anti-abortion billboard at every exit. Good times. While my stance on abortion has always been right, my opinion of Taylor has shifted. When Shake It Off came out, I realized, oh, I love her. How fun is this song? Then her whole album, 1989, was amazing. No skips. Reputation came out and it helped me through level 2 of a breakup. I worked out to it every day. I posted Instagram pics with her lyrics underneath because behind all this playa is just more playa. I won't go as far as to call myself a Swiftie because I didn't hop on the Lover or the Evermore bandwagons, but this new one is off the charts. We've got amazing songwriting on top of resonating, on top of genius. And you can't deny, she's playing the very American game of consumerism better than most. She puts out deluxe album after collector's edition, and the Swifties all need it. But I can't be mad at that. Mainly because I dig every word that she says on this album. The newest one is called Midnights, and here's what I thought of it. Lavender Haze. The opening track gives you real stoned vibes. It's in the title and the lyrics. Doesn't take a genius to recognize this is a play on Purple Haze. She's talking all about lying in bed with her man, and while the industry is putting all these pressures and expectations on her, the man she's with, presumably someone else in the limelight, he could care less. She's venting and stressed while he isn't even aware of what people are saying about him. I'm damned if I do give a damn what people say. I see this song as the great escape of the hellscape that life can be. I just want to stay in a lavender haze, aka I just want to stay in bed with the person I'm sleeping with while we blow smoke, kid. Maroon is the next one, and Maroon is a vibe, a very solid story, all about the night before, after having a wild night. How did we get here? We gotta clean up, and the sun is rising, and look, it's maroon. The wine stains, my cheeks, it's all maroon. This amazing electric night is marooned in my memories. Then boom, fast forward this relationship and we got problems now. Maroon is no longer just the goods. Maroon now symbolizes the goods and the bads. And now we've associated a color with a whole chapter of our weird little lives. Think of a person that took you on a maroon-esque roller coaster of a love affair. And what color do you see? I see lime green. Not the same kick as maroon. Antihero. This is on the radio now, so if you have a dial, perhaps you're already in the know. I should not be left to my own devices. They come with prices and vices. I end up in crisis. Tale as old as time. Have I related to a lyric more in my life? Of course, but right now, that's the one that's hitting the mark. Your vices will leave you in crisis, if left to your own devices. And it is, in fact, a tale as old as time. We all got to keep our vices in check. You can, in fact, eat too many apples. You see what I'm saying? This song also gives major self-loathing vibes, but in the smoothest way possible. She's almost apologizing for being the anti-hero while executing bad bitchdom. I think it's a little bit about her mixed in with someone else she knows, but we'll never know who. Snow on the beach. Life is emotionally abusive and time can't stop me quite like you did. Oof, did you feel that? Yeah, bro, she just kicked us in the chest and hit us with some real. Life is emotionally abusive, period. She does call snow on the beach weird but fucking beautiful, which I'm from a little beach town, so we've seen snow on the beach, not so weird. This song feels like it's about a short-term relationship that didn't work out, but then they got together in the future and it's weird but it's right. A reconciliation. Lana Del Rey is also on this song, and it really is just such a Lana Del Rey song. It would have made the track list for 2017's Lust for Life is all I'm saying. Song number 5, You're on Your Own, Kid. Now, I actually had to check who the writers of this song were because I'm not receiving any form of money from it, and I'm 100% sure that I did in fact write it. Did the fly on the wall of my brain observe all of my thoughts, then fly out of my head over to Taylor Swift's house, wait for someone to open the door or the window, fly inside, lose steam after a day or two of not being killed and not really eating, then get swatted, have its little fly soul ascend up Taylor Swift's nasal cavity? And then was that fly reborn as the fly on the wall of her brain? And then from there told her all my thoughts? What I'm trying to say is I'm a big fan of this track. Midnight Rain. He wanted it comfortable, I wanted the pain. Do you know who Dharma and Greg are? Dharma and Greg was a sitcom from the 90s where this quirky free spirit named Dharma fell in love with this cookie-cutter lawyer named Greg. They got married immediately because it was love at first sight, and then they lived happily ever after. This song is as if Dharma and Greg didn't work out in an alternate universe. And honestly, there's a chance I've used a Dharma and Greg analogy before, but Dharma and Greg really do transcend time and space. The next song is Question. She is calling out a dude who love-bombed her, then ghosted. God, isn't that the dream, to have a platform to go after the person who ghosted you? It's brilliant. She had specifics in there about where they kissed, who they kissed in front of, when he slithered out of bed in the middle of the night, the works. Ugh. I mean, if Taylor Swift is out here getting ghosted, then hold on tight, 'cause it might be a bumpy ride for you. Vigilante shit. The first song on the album that when I listened to, I had to hit repeat on. It's giving Billie Eilish Bad Guy, and I just want to know who the ex-wife she's talking about is. This is such a sexy song about getting revenge on those who've wronged you, and is anything better? I don't start shit, but I can tell you how it ends. Don't get sad, get even. Okay, honestly, yes. Yes, I motherfucking will. Revenge is so time-consuming, though. I wish every time I shoveled a bowl of mac and cheese down my throat, my enemy got a wrinkle that they couldn't unwrink. That seems like way less plotting on my end. Listen to this song with the intention of figuring out who's on your naughty list, and I guarantee you will figure it out quick. Bejeweled. What a beautiful reminder that if someone takes your aura, or your looks, or your sparkling, shimmering, sexy personality for granted, then dead that motherfucker and keep it moving. Go light up a room somewhere else. Baby love, I think I've been a little too kind. Didn't notice you walking all over my peace of mind. Ugh. She's saying I'm gonna go over here and shine because I polish up real nice. It is a reminder to go where you are watered. You're gonna shrivel up and die if you don't. So best believe you're still bejeweled. Labyrinth. Whoa, what a retroactive, reminiscent, powerful breakup song / falling in love song. She's speaking to the person she's most heartbroken by about how she felt during the breakup while it was happening, while simultaneously experiencing a new love and juggling the baggage while she's falling in love again. I thought the plane was going down. How'd you turn it back around? I thought I could never fall in love again. Who are you to show me I can? It starts slow, picks up tempo. She perfectly executes feeling two feelings at once. And it's the most human song on the whole album. Karma. This song is the antithesis of vigilante shit, which is okay. It's okay to crave revenge and also believe karma will take care of them. Karma is Queen Vigilante. So let's all just remember that. This song is essentially our generation's new and improved We Didn't Start the Fire. And karma is a relaxing thought. Sweet Nothing. A song all about how love should feel easy. And I'm not saying relationships are, or that relationships should always feel easy. I'm saying the message is that love should be sweet nothing. Keep looking and searching for nothing, and maybe you'll find everything. This song feels like a lazy Sunday morning cuddling in bed and laughing. It may be the coziest love song ever written. Since I'm only giving my thoughts on Midnights and not Midnights 3 a.m., the extended version, the last song on the album is Mastermind. Oh my God. She's literally talking about magic and manifesting. She plotted out all her moves to get what she wanted. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Simple reminder, but very necessary. It was all my design because I'm a mastermind. What an amazing way to end the album. Yeah, everybody, I made this all happen. I'm in control. And the music ramps up, and you feel it in your chest. And just like that, she wrote banger after banger. If you love the album too, I feel you. And if you're on the fence about listening, trust me, no skips.
Duh.
Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Party God Squad, hello. Did you have a good week? I sure hope so. Democrats won the majority. Our false sense of security is safe yet again. I'm being cheek, but it's very important to vote, so always vote. Even if you think the country is rigged, please still vote. Voting is like locking the top lock at night. If a killer wants to get in, they're gonna get in, but you at least have to try to keep them out. My question is, when do we vote for mayor? Aren't they only supposed to be mayor for 2 years? It feels like Eric Adams is in his senior year already. God damn, vote him out. Time is up. If I were the app Uber and he were me, I would give him a 4.82 rating, which is my backwards ass way of saying that's my Uber rating. What the actual fuck, bro? 4.82? I know it was a 4.84 a while back, which is not great. But a lot of low numbers had to happen to give me a 4.82 average. I'm an all-star cab rider. I smell like Chanel with hints of marijuana. I've never thrown up in a cab. I listen to music in my headphones and I look out the window because keep that head on swivel. Sure. Sometimes I roll down the window on the highway, but that's because your car fucking stinks and I'm getting car sick. I'm not going to rate you a 4 about it. That's such a bitch move. I was told on Saturday night that I have bro energy. I was wearing a sexy adult leotard from a certain reality star mogul that I will just say I didn't personally buy, but I have been long-term borrowing. And goddamn, do those bodysuits make you feel fergalicious. I was wearing knee-high boots that made me feel like Kesha, only to be told I have bro energy? Well then where are all the bros at? Isn't like supposed to attract like? Don't I deserve to be on a boat with a man named Brockton who can't sexually satisfy me but gives me his credit card for emergencies? And he also has a tattoo that says in Chinese lettering, if we're not having fun, it is an emergency, only later to find out that that tattoo translates to motorbike genie. If I have such bro energy, then why am I not on their frequency, bro? Explain that, physicists who listen to this podcast. I am all ears. No, I can be a little bro-ish. Sometimes when I'm driving, I sing Scotty Doesn't Know at full volume, so I get it. I don't want to say I was drugged this week because that's extremely dramatic, but I will say I did voluntarily take some of someone's liquid marijuana, and it was nothing short of the worst. I smoke a minimum 4 bong rips to go to TJ's, baby. Max or Joe's. I am seasoned, but this weed took me out. At first, it's all good. We're laughing, we're giggling. Then I'm doing the dishes, and that made me nervous. So I took myself to bed, and I laid in bed paranoid 2 hours earlier than I normally go to bed. It felt like I was thinking every negative thought I've ever had, but all at the same time. And to make matters worse, I recently watched Buying Beverly Hills on Netflix, so my whole algorithm is ads from real estate agents on YouTube. That's the only reason these motherfuckers could be in my algorithm. I'm trying to watch YouTube and ads are coming on, and these aren't smooth-talking hot Greek men named Dimitri trying to tell me how to be a real estate agent. It's guys who live in the city next to Boca Raton who want to teach me how to be a millionaire off selling my first 3 houses. And you can too. And he's walking in the video and his wife is driving, but you don't see her. And he's pointing at a random house claiming to have closed deals on it, while his fasten seatbelt siren is repeating in the background, and he damn near sideswipes a Lincoln Navigator. Hey Google, just advertise places for me to go on vacation and new mushroom stuff like we're used to. I don't like this guy or any of his friends. And I especially don't like this guy when I'm trying to get myself out of this, frankly, nightmare. It was a haunted house of paranoia that I do not wish to return to. I assure you, whatever was going on in this scene from Panic Room was in fact my highest thoughts of the week, and they were not recorded by me. But my other ones were, and that brings us to Rocky's second most highest thoughts, my second most stoned thoughts of the week. Number 1, if everyone was 100% truthful in collaboration, while never intentionally saying something hurtful, wowie wow wow, would human beings evolve so much faster? My God. Number 2, is it better to have imaginary arguments with people and win them as a form of tension relief, or does that just cause more tension? Number 3, I referred to myself as a non-practicing witch the other day, in all seriousness, which someone said he thought was really funny, the idea of a witch knowing she has power but leaving them dormant. But frankly, I don't see why that's funny. And number 4, I was never a girl to smoke in the bathroom during high school, but I sure am her now. My guest this week is comedian Meg Indurti. Meg's wild word was embarrassing, and we've all been there. But I don't know if we've all been there in the wild way that Meg shares with us. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow me at TikTok and Instagram at Wild Nights with Rocky, on Twitter at Wild Nights Pod. If you want to watch extended interviews with all of my guests, please subscribe to me on YouTube. If you'd like to support the show with your wallet, you can hop on over to my Patreon and join for $2 or $5 a month. A big thank you and a future thank you to everyone who's written and everyone who will write a review after this episode is over. It really does make a difference. A quick shout out if you're listening to Porter, and a quick shout out to my dear friend Ray, who I know is listening. Ray, you are the absolute best and the true definition of a real one. And now, please enjoy my Wild Nights conversation with Meg Indurti. Meg, welcome. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. You know, I've been following you online for a little while now. You're very chill vibes, stoner babe. Stoner babe.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad that that's the energy I'm giving off. I feel like that was not the energy I was giving off the majority of my life. So that's pretty cool now.
But that is, I mean, I'm talking as a stoner babe myself. Is that you're, just from things I've listened to, things I've heard, I feel like that's who you are, right?
I don't think I've ever been described that way by anybody else. But wow. I want to be cool, chill, stoner girl. I'm actually just like a neurotic anxiety freakazoid.
Oh no. Like. Well, you give off major stoner babe vibes. So I'm happy to have you on.
So happy. Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
Well, because you're in California, right? But you haven't always been in California.
No, I moved here last year. I'm from the Northern Virginia, DC area, and I lived in Chicago for the past 7 years before.
that is kind of an interesting time to move to LA, right? Right. Sort of in the midst, a year ago, we were still in the midst of this pandemic.
Oh yeah, it was before the vaccine, and my friend and I drove across the country.
Uh-huh.
Very wild time. Yeah, it was a weird time to come here, but I think that's also part of why we moved. I think we were both just looking for something different, like a slower lifestyle that wasn't what we had in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be here, man. I mean, just the sunlight's hitting my face. I think I've become more of a stoner babe because of
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah, it definitely has those vibes. When I went, I mean, now in New York, and I love it, but if you go outside, you're just immediately hit with the smell of weed. And because everyone is just ruthlessly smoking on the streets. On my, like a block away from me alone, we had two weed shops open, and then they have basically a mobile weed shop that's amazing too.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's just in one block. So
So you don't even like need to order like it's just
no.
always there.
No,
Wow.
I got a gal. I get it from where I get it, and I keep that true. But like, occasionally you need to go buy a soul joint if you're like on the go. And I didn't roll any before I got home. I'm like, oh yeah, it's very convenient. It's very convenient. The other day, actually, my friend has his friend in town, and we were having drinks or food. Actually, that it's a lie to say I was having drinks. I haven't had anything to drink in almost 3 weeks, Meg, and
That's amazing. Doesn't it
it's
feel nice?
it feels nice, but I do miss it. It's like the holidays revving up, but I had a doctor tell me like I have a little bit of an ulcer. And so the doctor's like, bitch,
Oh
you can't
no.
drink. And I was like, but motherfucker, it's the holidays. And he was like, I
Yeah.
don't care, bitch. So we were out, they were having drinks, I was sitting with them, and I got so high that it became a little bit embarrassing.
Oh no.
No, it
Well,
was
only embarrassing to you though,
it
or
was
like for everybody?
no. We were like group embarrassing
Okay,
out
okay,
at a
okay.
restaurant. We walked out and we were like at the window. The waiter was like, I need a card. And we're like, we're right here. We're just getting high. And he's like, I don't care. And so it was embarrassing. But embarrassing is a word you should be used to because embarrassing was your wild word. So
Yeah,
there we go.
embarrassing is my life, my entire life, which is why when you call me a chill girl is so funny because I was just like the person I was and still somehow am is just like very contrived. Like I feel like I try to like over prepare and plan for everything just because like I just grew up with like very I don't know what your parents were like, but my parents were very just like helicopter parents.
Gotcha.
They didn't let my brother and I do like anything. And if we did something and we didn't do it correctly the first time, they'd be like, you know what? We'll take care of it from here. And that
Yeah,
was like driving, that was like sports, that was like anything. So we
everything.
both had this like, oh, we got to be like perfect at something or else like it's not even worth doing kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So Meg's wild word was embarrassing. So Meg, take us into your wild night story. Embarrassing.
So I was just kind of like a person that liked to over prepare and plan for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was like supposed to be these like beautiful instantaneous things that happen in the moment. And like so sophomore year of college, I had just gotten out of my like first relationship. He was like
Okay.
my first boyfriend.
High school
Um
boyfriend?
college
College
boy. It was
boyfriend.
my
I didn't
first.
got it. I
Yeah.
didn't know if you brought him with you to college. Like, okay, we're gonna stay together because we're gonna be together forever. But you met him in
No,
college, yeah.
we met in college. We were friends for a little bit freshman year, and
Mm-hmm.
then we started dating, and then we were together all through sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And he was my first kiss. He was like my first, like
Everything.
everything. And I don't like in hindsight, I hope he doesn't listen to this, but like in hindsight, like I don't even know if we were that compatible. It was more just like, oh, this person likes me. This is great. And he was like really cool.
And
So
you're
we,
in an ecosystem in college. You're in an
yeah,
ecosystem.
we were in the
Like your
same
major,
freshman hall.
everything. Exactly.
Exactly. One year in the frame for it was just like an incestuous, like we all just like fucked each other. It
Exactly.
was it was just that. Except I did not. He was the only person I was with,
Mm-hmm.
and it just we broke up. because of me, because I wasn't feeling it. And I was trying to force it and it wasn't working. And he was like a sweet, nerdy, kind man. And so naturally, as soon as we broke up, I wanted like the opposite of that. And I was
Bad
like,
boys.
I'm gonna have a one night stand. And
Love
like
it.
I'd never had a one night stand. So I Googled how to have a one night stand.
That's
like,
amazing.
First thing, I was like, okay, I can probably figure this out. I went on it and I found a WikiHow article. And I don't know if you have, do you use WikiHow?
I have. Hell yeah. I use WikiHow to learn how to squirt, actually.
Wait, what? Of course. There's a WikiHow article for everything.
Yes. So I'm with you. There's no judgment here.
Oh no, I mean, like, seriously, there's one that's like how to repress your feelings if you're gay and pretend to be straight. I'm like, oh my god. It's so, they really do have advice for everything, including how to have a one night stand.
We love to see it.
And it was like 10 steps. The 10th step was to have sex, which is
9 before that.
Which is like, oh, I'm glad you put that in there. I was gonna like forget if you didn't have that in there. But also like now that I've had more one night stands, I don't know if you have. It's like I feel like there should have been like a step 11, like remove your arm awkwardly underneath him while he's asleep. Step 12, go back to the bar. You left your tab open. Step 13, order a large pizza. Call your ex. Right, like that should be the actual while the sun is rising. But I did go to this party and I was reading this list and it was like, step number 1 was like be like a Southern belle.
Jesus
was like
Christ.
The first one.
Jesus Christ.
It was like this is what men like. Men like when women laugh at their jokes and embody the behavior of a Southern belle. And I was like, okay, what's a Southern belle? And it was just like, don't say cheesy pickup lines. Like anything that would be on an Aeropostale shirt, they were like, don't say this.
Okay.
Be like super laughing at his joke, like really be touchy and stuff. And I was like, okay, got it. I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that. And then step number 2 was like, oh yeah, like be super touchy and stuff. Like I was like legitimately like putting this, like studying it like you would like an exam of like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do step by step and this will work.
Right.
And so I went to this house party at a neighboring campus because I didn't want to like run into my ex at all. And I went to like a nearby university with my friend. We went to this house party and I found an attractive man. His name was Ezra. I remember that still because he was really hot. And then there was, I don't know if you watch Pretty Little Liars, but the hot pedophile teacher's name is also Ezra. And I was like, so I just remember that name.
Ezra is coming up a lot, the name. I feel like that's a new baby name too now.
Really?
A lot of Ezras.
A lot of Ezras. It's a hot name.
Yeah.
Ezra's a hot name. It's a hot name. So yeah, I'm at this party. I'm talking to this guy. I'm laughing at all his jokes. I'm like flipping my hair. I'm doing the thing. I'm wearing a tight dress. I'm 3 watered down rum and cokes in.
I love it.
Like, this is happening. So he finally says like the really beautiful romantic sentence of let's get out of here. And I was like, totally. Great. So at this point in the night, I'd had like several rum and cokes and I like needed to go to the bathroom. But it was a house party and there was only one really shitty male owned bathroom with like a line around it. And like every time the door opened, kind of like both felt and smelt the disgust of the bathroom. So there was no part of me that like wanted to experience that. And also I feel like this is like a lesson I want to like pass on to my nieces and kids, but like I feel like everyone thinks that they have control over their bladder. Like they're like you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, I don't really need to pee. Or like I'll be like watching a TV show and I'm like, I'll wait until the end of this episode. And it's like I'm always wrong. Like I never have the control that I thought I did. But at this time I did think that. So I was like, I'm not going to use this weird fraternity bathroom. I'm going to go where I asked him where his dorm was and he's like, oh, it's like really close by.
Yeah.
So I was like, great, really close by. I'll just pee at this place.
Yeah.
So we start walking back and I immediately regret my decision because it is like, oh, I really have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. And it was kind of a walk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. It's like everyone has a different definition of what really close by means.
Yeah.
Like, I think the majority of people, it's like 4 blocks. Mm-hmm. And for some men, I've noticed, tall men, it is like a mile. Yeah. And I don't know why or where they grew up, where that, I don't get it.
And their legs are longer too, so they can move faster. So it's not, it doesn't take as long.
Yeah, around the corner was a lie. This was at least a 20-minute walk,
Shut
which
the fuck up.
Is not so absurd that we needed to call an Uber, but is like enough that you have to mention that. You can't be like around the corner.
Don't be cash.
Don't be casual. You got to say it's like 20 minutes. You got to be honest. But I could see as a guy, if you're trying to close the deal, why 20 minutes is like, So I could see the game that he was playing. He must have read his own WikiHow article or something. Yeah. So we're walking back and I'm like, fuck, this is really hard. And meanwhile, like I'm trying to like control my body while we're doing the whole like hookup talk of like, so like, what's your major? Or, like, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. We're like talking about all this, like, he's telling me about how he's like a political science major. I'm telling him that I'm like considering majoring in English, and he's like, well, English is not really like useful, like blah blah blah, it won't be useful very soon. And I'm like, okay, well, our government's gonna end too, so your degree is actually also not going to be useful very soon. And we were talking and I was like kind of being wobbly, and he was like, oh my god, do you want more water? You want to go back and get more water? And I was like, no, like, you're so sweet, but you are misunderstanding why I'm wobbling. Yeah, I actually wasn't that drunk at all.
But he thought because you were clinching, like, had to pee so bad that you were drunker than you were, and you're like, no, motherfucker, this is a 20-minute walk.
Yeah, this is like a trek. Like, we were in Virginia at this time. We were walking to fucking West Virginia. It felt like, I was like, this is so, where are we going? So we're walking and he like points up a hill. He's like, we're almost here. And I was like, okay, thanks. Like, and at this point I'm like, okay, what step am I on? Because like at some point, step number 7 is like, you're supposed to make out. And I'm just like going through the list of like, okay, I can't do that one, can't do that one, can't do that one. All I need to do is like find a bathroom. So we finally get to the front of his dorm room, and I'm just like excited, and I'm partly like proud of myself. I'm like, look at you, like, you've never had a one-night stand. Everything was against you, but you worked through these barriers of oppression, and now you're here. You're about to get railed by this hot guy for the first time. Ezra. Mm-hmm. And we were both happy and feeling the energy, and he tried to be like romantic, and he like grabbed me to like kiss me. And like I just wasn't expecting that. And so neither was my bladder. So he was kissing me and I was like pissing my pants simultaneously. Like it was like a kiss and piss.
A kiss and piss.
It was, oh my god,
you just felt like, was it comfort? Was it like, oh my god, he's kissing me and I just feel like comfort right now, but I can't even, you couldn't concentrate on kissing and holding? Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was just like, I think it was just like all of my senses were focused on this one task. And like as soon as I was distracted, it was like the floodgates opened.
Wow.
Yeah, it just, and like the whole time we were making out, like I could hear it. Like I could just hear me pissing, and I was like, oh my god, this is happening like right now. And I still kept kissing him because I'm like, wait, does he hear? Does he not hear? What's going on? It felt like it, I don't know how long it was. It felt like really long, but it must have been maybe 10 seconds. And he like finally lets go, and he's like smiling. So I'm like, oh, okay, like everything's fine. But I looked down, and like a puddle had formed at my feet because I was wearing a dress. And it was like, it's like a really intense moment because I was just like looking down, like seeing my own reflection in my like puddle of piss, just like making eye contact with myself, like that moment in Lion King. I was like, I can't, this is too much. And so I just like ran away.
Oh no.
And he was like so confused because I guess he still didn't like realize what happened. And he was like, where are you going? And I just ran all the way back to my car and like passed out in my car. And I guess he just like maybe thought he was like a terrible kisser, or like And every time I tell a friend that story, they're always like, he probably would have still slept with you.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they always say. And I'm like,
yeah. Well, I was gonna say some guys are really into pee stuff, so he might have just been like, was this just delivered to my door, a pile of urine? Are you kidding me? I mean, you might have been his dream girl. He might have been wikiing, how do I get a girl to pee on my front steps or to pee while I'm kissing her? And then here you show up and you fucking run away Cinderella style. He's like, you lost your pee. He's got a little cup of it. He's going around to everyone in the village and he's like, everybody, I need to smell your urine. Jesus Christ.
He's trying to find Cinderella again.
Yeah.
This podcast is going to be the thing that he's going to find me again. He's been looking for me all these years. And he's like, finally, someone told this story in public. No, I still remember Ezra. Wow. Yeah, no, we did not hook up and I never saw him again.
Yeah.
And I did not have my first one night stand until like a year later.
Okay.
Because I was so mortified. But, you know, I did wake up a couple hours later in my car in a Honda Civic with like piss stained underwear. And I was like, this, you know, it felt a little rock bottom.
Yeah.
Felt a little rock bottom. And I was like dehydrated from drinking.
Yeah.
And I was still like, you know what? This is salvageable. Like, the thing is, it almost happened. The only reason it didn't happen is because I got too confident. The WikiHow made me too confident. Because like before I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
And then I started just being like, I don't need to go to the bathroom. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do this. So I was checked, you know, I was humbled and I was like, good, now I can take these lessons and the next time. Since then, I've never like tried to battle with my bladder again.
Yeah,
like now I always go to the bath. Like I just I'm never messing with it again. Ever.
No, it's comfort over everything for me. I won't even, like, if I have to pee a little before I eat dinner, I won't even. I'm like, let me just pee, get it out. We can get comfortable after that. Yeah. So, but that comes with time. You're like, you know, I think I've told this on here before, but there was a day in first grade where like I peed my pants by accident in first grade. And then I didn't tell anyone. I just like peed in one of those little plastic chairs, and then I did it the next day because I thought it felt so good. And when my dad
you did it the next day,
I was like, I actually kind of like dig just like sitting and pissing my pants right before leaving school, even though the bathroom's 10 feet away. And my dad picked me up and he was like, yeah, we don't do that. You can't do that. You know better than that. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, noted, got it.
Wow.
So you know, I can understand the sweet release when the kiss comes out, but that is a bummer. I am happy that you got your one night stand eventually. Now, when you got your next one night stand or the first one, was that as planned out or did it just kind of happen?
No. Oh my God. There's some like Disney Channel lesson in here. That one was not planned out. That was also when I lost my virginity, and it was also to my best friend, and it was in a car. Wow, car theme in this.
Car
theme. Toyota Corolla. No, it was like a soccer mom car.
Got it.
And then we like dated for like 2 years, and we're still dating. So
amazing.
That was completely unplanned, and it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was great. Yeah,
car
and
sex
I didn't
is good.
Piss myself. It was outside of a BART station in San Francisco. It was because he was visiting me in the Bay Area, and we were using his roommate's car, so it wasn't his roommate's car, and because I couldn't take him back to like my sister's.
Yeah.
So we were like, I guess we're doing this in the car.
You gotta do it. When sometimes like, yeah, people want to fuck. Sometimes it's not always the best place, but car sex is great.
Yeah, and I'm a pretty short person, so ended up working out. But yeah, that was I guess that's not a one night stand though, if we like dated for 2 years.
And if you kept in contact with them and everything, I would say it was probably just you losing your virginity. Not just, I just mean.
Okay. Well, then my actual first one night stand was in England when I studied abroad. And it was just to some like guy who was on the rugby team, and I thought that was really, really hot.
Yeah, so. Rugby players are magnifique.
I'm like, honestly, I don't even know if he did play rugby. He said he played rugby, and I was like, cool, we should hook up.
Well, probably when you did that, it wasn't as like common to Google then like to see if someone was a rugby player. But I can tell you that if someone tells you they're a rugby player and you bang them, you can Google it afterwards and find out if it's true. And when it's true, it's really dope.
But it was like the university team, not like professional, but I guess that's still pretty cool.
Hey man, they got to start somewhere. They're not
I
just
definitely believed it.
Yeah.
His body was great.
Rugby players have a certain swagger about them. A European swagger, if you will.
He did not enjoy so he was English, and like the next morning he like you know, we like hung out for a little bit, and then he left, and then he like came back for his charger. He'd left his charger, and then he left, and then he came back again because he's like, I left my sweater. And I was like, oh, you're just like, I'm like, oh, classic English, can't leave occupied Indian territory or whatever. I made some like dumb joke, and he was like, what? And I was like, you know, like colonization, blah blah blah. And he's like,
you know how you guys colonized?
He like did not think it was funny. And then I was like, oh, I guess I should become a stand-up comedian.
Was that the moment?
No, it wasn't the moment. But I was like, you know what, that joke didn't work, but another joke will. So the thing is, kids, keep trying. keep trying
your jokes. I thought that was a funny joke, and
I think so too.
If he didn't get it, it's just because he's stupid and he forgot his charger. If you forget your charger on a one-night stand, brother, leave it. That's it. It's a wrap.
Yeah. And then he forgot his sweater and came back for it too. And you know, it's all the rugby. It makes you hits your head, I guess.
Hits your head. And maybe that's his like low-key way of colonizing again. It's in his blood to just leave shit and claim it as his own. I'm just gonna leave this at your house, and it's our house now.
It's our house. Yeah, he just comes back and lives there, and I'm like, God damn it.
I'm glad I don't know if I've ever. That's not true. I am bad at leaving earrings and necklaces, like jewelry. I'm bad at leaving those things.
On purpose?
No. I have never left jewelry at someone's house on purpose, but I have left it pretty much every time I've slept with someone.
Interesting.
And, I do always get it back. There was one guy who I really thought, Meg, I thought things were gonna like go somewhere with this guy, and we had gone on a few dates. He was really cool. He like had his life together. He had his own 1-bedroom apartment, but it was railroad style, so he like rented it to someone in the front, but that person like never went in his space. It was like, okay, you have kind of got your shit together, and I'm all for it. And my friend had got me these beautiful earrings from Italy, and I left them at his house, and I was like, oh, you know, can I come back? I'm going to be in your neighborhood. Can I come back and swing back and get the earrings? And he was like, yeah, come back. And I get back to his apartment, and I'm thinking like, we're going to talk. We're going to like plan a 4th or 5th date, whatever. I get back. He tells me he lost his job. He tells me that his great aunt has just died. He tells me that like he's happy that he lost his job because he wants to like be a passionate artist. And I'm just like, that's great, but I don't know if this relationship has room for 2 passionate artists. Like what I liked about you was your benefits and your 401k, and like the fact that you were like having all your shit together. Now you want to tell me you want to like, you know, fucking not have any of those things? And
no,
I was like, oh no.
You're like, no, I'm the crazy artist.
Yeah, I'm the crazy artist. You have to support us, sir. And so I like slowly took the earrings off his like fireplace. I'm like pushing them in my hand. I'm like, this is so terrible. I have to go out with my friends. You'll never be inside me again. I mean, I'll talk to you later. Like, bye, buddy.
Wow. Well, wow. Interesting. That is not where I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say like you thought it was going to go somewhere, and then he like told you that he wasn't interested, but like him just explaining, he talked himself out of another date.
He just seemed like he was giving off, and he was like such a little cutie, and he was in a band, but he also had like a really good job. And I just think that it was a weird moment. It wasn't his fault. And I'm not to be like someone who is, I would love to date an artist. So I'm like playing it up.
I wouldn't.
You're like, fuck out of here. But I was really into him, and I thought he was great and stuff, but I just felt like I came in a real like white t-shirt with grease stains moment. He wasn't wearing any of those things, but that's what I'm like the impression I'm trying to give off of.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
Pizza grease t-shirt, like 5 o'clock shadow, Budweiser in the corner energy is what he was giving off.
Oh no, that is unattractive.
And I was like, my man's, what are we? So it just kind of, it fizzled. I would say he didn't ghost me, I didn't ghost him, but it fizzled.
It fizzled. Well, I think, and that's the important part about dating, right? Because it's like everyone seems so perfect on the first date, and then you like go on a couple more, and you're like, oh, I see. Because it's like I went on a date with a guy last year who was like really tall, hot Indian guy who was like in film, and I was like, how the fuck are you single? Like,
right. What is it?
Like, what? And like, I found out. It's like whenever you're like, there's no way this person's single, you find out why. And it's never like a really bad, it wasn't like a really bad reason or anything.
Yeah, it's just like,
it was just like, oh, they have a lot going on in their lives and they're like emotionally unavailable and like it's not gonna work out, you know?
I do, yeah. I feel like dating as a whole, I don't know what it's like out in LA, but I imagine it's probably, I could be wrong, but I feel like it could be even more challenging than dating in New York, because New York we can just hop on public transportation, blah blah blah. But dating feels to me like another full-time job. Like I wish a boyfriend could just be delivered to my door and like I could order one. And I think one day we will be able to like order a robot boyfriend, but like this is the qualities I want, and this is how many times a week we have to see each other.
Oh God, I can see that happening already. It is it is like tough because I don't know about you, but I tend to be like attracted to like it takes me a while to become attracted to people. So like most of the people I've like ended up dating were like people I've kind of already known as like acquaintances or like friends of friends, just because they're already in my life and we're getting to know each other naturally, versus like anytime I go on like a date, it just doesn't work because like they either want to take it like faster than I do, or like, well, actually, that's usually what happens. And I was like, there's no other. It's usually that. And then it's like,
I will pee on your front steps. Like, let me go at my pace.
I just want to like, it just never works out because I'm just like, I'm already like a busy person, and it's like it's really hard to make room for a new person in your life when like you're a stranger. I'm not gonna give you precedent over my friends and job and passion, but you have to. You're supposed to. I think that's why it's maybe easier for boring people to do.
They're like, I get it.
Yeah, when with like the fewer things you have in your life, I'm sure.
I really try. I have tried with the like nice boring guys, but it, you go over there and it's like, no, I don't want to watch the new Ryan Reynolds movie. You know what I mean?
Oh God, and there's always a new Ryan Reynolds movie.
Love Ryan Reynolds.
His agent.
I know. It's always working. I just like don't want to sit on your couch and watch the new Ryan Reynolds movie while we make out. That's just not how I want my life to go.
And but you don't want to watch Pikachu? That's fine.
I don't want to watch Pikachu. I don't want to do it. Because I'm a busy lady in comedy, much like yourself. And I want to talk a little bit about congratulations on your New Yorker article. That came out about a month ago. It was called, Tips for Writing Out the Upcoming Recession. Now, what I loved about this article, you think, I know it's the New Yorker and we're having fun and we're having a laugh, but you actually like going to it to see like, what are the tips? And everything that you put in there was just so fucking funny. I recommend everyone to read this article. It threw me for a loop, but it was full of surprises. And it was actually as funny as you were being. You were making some great points.
Yeah, I mean, I there were multiple people that were like, this is really funny, but also like some of these are just good tips that I'm going to start using. I'm like, dude, at BYOB everywhere. Just
I'm big on the BYOB. And just like the saying no is so hard for me. I love to be out and about, but saying no to going out is it's hard.
Pretty good life advice, I think. I have another New Yorker piece coming out on Friday. I'm really excited about it.
Amazing. Can you tell us the name of it or not yet?
We haven't.
I guess it'll be out. It'll be out by then, but yeah.
Oh yeah. We haven't finalized the title of it yet, though. I'm gonna do that after this, but it's gonna be making fun of Instagram Reels.
Oh, I know. It's like, oh man, we can't just watch pictures. Like, you can't just scroll and look at pictures anymore. You don't even end up in the algorithm. It's so sad.
Oh yeah, like the guy, the Instagram guy that runs it, he like gets on his thing every 2 weeks because like everyone's complaining about reels, and he just gets on there to gaslight everyone to be like, actually reels are great, and it's the thing that it's the future, and you guys need to get on it, and like it's what's getting the most engagement. It's like, because like that's what you're putting all your money into, and that's why.
Yeah.
But I think everyone's like a little annoyed with it because like your feed used to be like your friends, and now it's just reels of weird people that I don't know.
Yeah. I try to go through my list, and if it's dead accounts or, things that I was into at one point, I just and I'm like, oh my God, I need to follow every account on psilocybin that ever existed. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll wait to my next mushroom trip and then I'll go back and follow these accounts, like stuff like that. It's like next time I'm feeling really at one with Mother Earth, but it's like I'm just following the same accounts or the same meme accounts. If I see the same real joke, gif, meme, whatever, if I see it twice in one day because two accounts are doing that sharing thing where you can both be a contributor, when two people
yeah, like
I unfollow I unfollow one of them. I'm like, I don't need to follow both these joke accounts because they're both sharing the same thing.
Whoa, wow, okay, you're really like on the Marie Kondo like declutter shit.
And if it's not sparking joy, it's not going in my feed. That's what I'm saying.
That is smart. Well, sometimes I feel like the stuff that shows up on my feed, I'm like, I don't even know why it's there. Like, I don't follow this account, or I don't, you know what I mean? Or like, I didn't see photos of my friend and her child, and I was like, wait, you had a child? And I was like, oh, you just weren't on my feed.
You're not in my algae, baby. You're not in my algae.
Yeah, so I wanted to make fun of that.
And I wanted to bring up, you were just in New York about a month ago, where you had a bunch of shows. You did Bitches Brew, which I had Naomi on a couple weeks ago.
So funny.
So fucking funny. She's a gem. And how was your trip in New York? The weather was probably really nice for you. That was a good week.
That's so funny that you say that. So my friend Sabine Sadiq and I did an apartment swap. She stayed at my place in LA. I stayed at her place in New York.
That's so smart.
Yeah, and the first 2 days I came to New York, the weather was terrible. It was like raining. I don't know if you remember like that. It was like that Monday, Tuesday. It was just like super cold, raining, horrible. It was just so funny because I was seeing her Instagram stories of LA of just like palm trees. Yeah. And I'm like, and I'm just like beating a rat on the F train or whatever. But no, in New York, it was after those 2 days, it felt like the clouds parted, and like I was there for a week. It was really nice. I'm thinking about moving there, but I'm not like in a rush to move there, so I just want to visit it a lot more. And it was just like a really great week. I did Butterboy. I did a lot of great shows.
It looks like your schedule was really jam-packed.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't try to get it too crazy because I feel like earlier in my career I tried to do like 3 shows a night, and I was like, I'm just gonna do one and I can hang out there and like get to know people. I'm gonna be there again this weekend actually.
Oh, amazing. For the comedy festival?
Yeah, but just like Friday and Saturday, and that's it. But I'm really excited. Yeah, I love New York, and I'm happy to be back more often. I wanted to move there actually before the pandemic, and then things kind of changed. Life kind of came at you fast.
That's how life does not wait for anybody. That's the thing about life. But you're out in LA, so let everybody listening know where they can catch you, what shows you have coming up out in LA.
Yeah, I produce a monthly show called The Big One with Carly Kane and Molly Carney, and it's a great fun backyard show. We just had one last Friday. We had Links and Kerman on it just recently. So we always try to get really good comics. We always try to get someone Chicago in it too. It's just a good time, and people really love it. Like to drink and hang out there. So yeah, come through if you're here. Our next one's December 9th. And we'll have a fresh new lineup. Yeah.
That's amazing. So LA, pull up if you can. And Meg, will you please give everybody your social media so they can follow you, find you, see what you got going on?
Yeah, read my next New Yorker.
Read both your New Yorkers. They're great.
Yeah, I've got, if you scroll through my feed, it's just like selfies and New Yorker articles.
Yeah.
weird clip every now and then. So my social is Meg Indurti, MEGINDURTI, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's the
amazing. Well, Meg, this was so fun. I feel like I could have talked one night stands with you for hours.
Or just peeing in your pants. Yeah.
Peeing in your pants. I did want to say pee in clothing, just it has such a like pee in clothing smell that I cannot believe he didn't recognize it. But you know what? Maybe he was one of the anosmia is a thing. People can't smell stuff sometimes. That's a real thing.
Maybe he was drunk. Maybe it was drunk. Like we were outside. Yeah, I don't know. I remember the logistics.
We'll never know until Ezra, you reach out to us and tell us. But in the meantime, Meg, this was an ultimate pleasure. Thank you so much for doing the show. I hope to catch you in a show soon. I look forward to your next New Yorker article, and you and I will talk soon, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Bye.